All right. So, how's your show doing?
My show's doing well. It's yeah, it definitely, because of what's happened with the economy, it was, you know, I'm sure we would have been something like, I don't know, maybe another couple hundred members along. Um, but we've maintained
Yeah.
and haven't really fallen off at all. So we're good.
Yeah, because I've been watching it lately, and I was reminded of, like, as I said in introducing you, like the basically academic rigor you bring to journalism. Even when I totally fucking disagree with you, like, um, you're it's often has the feel, and I hope you take this, as a compliment, of a graduate seminar. Actually, your show, like, especially when you have your co-hosts. I forget the two guys, but anyway, like,
Matt Leck, David Griscom.
and others. You have a couple other.
Shouts out. Oh yeah, and Artesia and
Right.
Bessner and all of the, yeah. I mean, we've, and even like the, at this point, I mean, we have new guests on, but we have, like, some of the people that are like really core to me, like Adolph Reed is a guy that I have just the biggest admiration for. He's one of my main influences, and
Yeah.
luckily, I mean, I really like the guy, and he's, he comes on pretty regularly now. So even
Does he?
in that context, yeah. So even in that context, we have this kind of incredible loop of people we're pulling from. I think it's also, I mean, it is also a fun show as well. I was actually thinking
Yeah.
before we started, I was letting people know like some upcoming guests. So we're having on Cedric Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
who's an
I
incredible
want to.
scholar.
I want to get him on
Yeah,
my show. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very in this, probably this kind of Field Sisters, Adolph Reed, Cedric Johnson, Torrey Reed, anti-essentialist circle is one of my primary influences, and
Cool.
definitely a very different spot kind of intellectually to put forward. It isn't really represented by most
Cool.
other parts of the scene.
Yeah.
But
You said, when you said the Field sisters, you mean Barbara and Karen, right?
yeah, Barbara and
Yeah.
Karen
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fields, all of that. And so,
Awesome.
yeah, so we have Cedric, this guy William Shockey, who writes for Africa as a Country. We're going to talk about policing in South Africa and basically the capitalist dimension of the global policing crisis.
Hmm.
And then I also am going to have on Jesus Stavros from Cumtown.
Mm-hmm.
And I put, and Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky is going to come through, and I put this list out, and I was like, this is the feel of the show. This is like, a
Damn.
couple of weeks ago, Cornell West. Now we'll have
Damn.
Stav on. So I think I try to. I don't know if we succeed at all, but if we had like a vision board, it would probably be like, you know, rigorous to the extent that's possible, but then actually also hopefully, like somebody told me once, they said, when I watch your show, I don't necessarily know everything you're talking about, but it's presented like it's stuff I think I should know or would be interested in, not just
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of fucking babble that I wouldn't care about, like specialized. Like when you say graduate school seminar, that sounds cool unless it means like a lot of like, jargon that nobody cares about. That would be the only thing I'd want to, I'm sure we fail sometimes, but I try to
Yeah.
avoid that. So if it's kind of like, that and a certain entertainment value, because I actually have a lot of, I have a lot of, I mean, I never went to graduate school. I never, I have a lot of confidence in people. Actually, I think people are ready to learn and
Um,
inquire, have some fun.
it's amazing you haven't been to graduate school, but let me be really clear. Yeah, no, no, no. You're doing journalism. You're not. You don't. When I say it's like a graduate program, or a graduate seminar, you guys are anybody with any kind of education and interest in politics will be able to understand what you're saying.
Right. That's
Essentially, I
great.
mean, maybe not every single concept
Yeah,
and
but
term.
maybe they'll find. But it will be like, hey, that's something I should check out.
Yeah,
Not like here's some kind of discourse that's being like blared at
yeah,
me that has no connection to my life.
yeah. And you're,
Yeah.
and like, I just don't. it's the best of the left, like you and your guests. Like you just named like a whole bunch of my favorite people on the left, like people Marxists who I totally, the handful of Marxists I still respect, like Adolf Reed and Barbara Fields. And that's, you have like both the sort of celebrities of the left, like Cornel West, who I love Cornel in a lot of ways, but he's not like cutting edge intellectually anymore. But you have like,
I don't know. We don't. I love that man.
Oh, he's a great man. I
Yeah.
love Cornell. He like was really kind to me once, and he's really is that. Like he's that guy. He really.
I think being cutting edge to me in some ways though is actually embodying that. Because I do have this the spiritual, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So so to me it's like him, or actually Lula too, who I got to go to Brazil and interview.
Yeah.
I mean, these are, especially when you talk about building a healthier culture on the left and prototyping like actual leadership qualities and things with actual mass appeal.
Yeah.
That's as cutting edge as you can get.
Cornel West to me embodies like Christian love at its finest. Like,
yes.
Now I have some critiques of that. I think there's problems with it in various ways, but like, it's kind of like what it should be. And also you can see where socialism comes right out of Christianity too. Like he's also socialism at its best, I think. But anyway, and I bet I don't know, Lula, I don't, I'm guessing he's got some sort of a similar vibe that probably also comes out of Christianity, right?
Lula is more like, trying to think. I mean, Cornel West to me, it's like the consummate, brilliant public intellectual, just incredible compassion, and the synthesis, the range, and the thing that I enjoyed about the conversation I had with him was like, because of the format, I think you really could see like the way he ties these things together is totally authentic. And I mean, that's actually something I know you're really interested in. Like, how do you build a bridge between, Plato and the blues or what? And I think when people see it for 5 minutes on cable and they don't have the background material, they don't necessarily see what he's actually doing. And because I could tell you, like, I've admired the guy for ages, and sitting down and talking with him, you actually get like this, Jesus Christ, I'm getting like a full cultural and civilizational education in 5 minutes. He also, I'll get to Lula in a second, but he had this great line. He was very kindly, like, really complimenting my book, which I didn't, he definitely had looked up on his own, because I didn't, I didn't hit him with that. And and this was so Cornel West though, because he was really praising it. And then he kind of goes, and, I mean, we'll see with the next one, these aren't the most profound brothers you went after. I love that. He goes, you weren't talking about, Burke, Plato, and that tradition.
Not the most profound brother.
I wanted to use that if it ever gets reprinted. Like, Michael Brooks takes on not the most profound brother you ever heard of.
That's beautiful, man.